to this? If the human rights, the body that's meant to be starting these things...
The Human Rights Council is a highly politicised body. It's made up not of experts on human rights, but of paltering diplomats, and Europe is only allocated 7 of the 47 seats. We have countries like Russia, China, obviously concerned to keep their own internal problems down and away from oversight. We have Egypt, we even have Cuba. So the decision is not really surprising. Sri Lanka itself is a member of this highly politicised council, despite the efforts of Desmond Tutu and Jimmy Carter last year to stop them gaining membership, and they passed this rather self-congratulatory motion. So although the Human Rights Council has set up an important investigation into the Israel-Palestinian conflict over Gaza, looking at both sides, they weren't prepared to look at both sides. But that's not the end of the story in the UN sense, because UN officials can look into it. John Holmes, Judge Pillai wants to...
We should it's very confusing when we hear about all the various human rights bodies, but John Holmes is the Senior Humanitarian Affairs Coordinator.
We heard from him a minute ago. He's very concerned.
Judge Navi Pillai
wants to conduct an investigation.
And he's the High Commissioner on Human Rights.
That's right. But more importantly, I think, there is a Human Rights Committee which sits in Geneva. It's a kind of court, and individuals can complain. Unusually, Sri Lanka has actually signed up to the International Convention on Human Rights, which has this body that investigates complaints. So any individual can complain against Sri Lanka. Can't complain against many other countries, but Sri Lanka is one country where it can look into individual complaints. So there's certainly going to be an inquiry, I would have thought, by the Human Rights Committee, and there are other possibilities: the Convention on Torture, the Convention on the Rights of the Child, even the Genocide Convention could all be applied in due course. So there are ways and means of finding out, fact-finding in effect, as to whether there have been breaches of the Geneva Convention, the targeting of civilians, or the bombing of hospitals, and so forth, that have been alleged.
There is a problem, though, as John Holmes pointed out. Nobody was there at the time, and the difficulty of finding out information afterwards when you have the Sri Lankan government saying what it does say, and with such limited access.
Absolutely. I mean, the Sri Lankan government kept out the international media so that